Hello, Dr. Corey Hall here from BachScholar Publishing. Thank you for joining me today. I have something really exciting for you. It is 4 months away from the launching of my first hard copy book. Hard copy, that is, not just PDF, as other publications by BachScholar. Hard copy book, your Sight Reading and Harmony, Progressive Pieces for Keyboard, grades 1 to 10, selected from 4-part chorales by J.S. Bach, for piano, organ, and theory instruction. It looks beautiful on iPads and any tablets such as this here. It will be available also digital and PDF, but put in your order now. You get 40% off, shipped anywhere in the world up to July for the pre-sale offer. 160 pages of beautiful Bach chorales here, beautifully written out and beautiful sounding. 160 pages of beautifully engineered music for your enjoyment, for sight reading. Teachers, students, anyone from grade 1 to grade 10 will enjoy these, and above grade 10, anyone from beginning up to the Horowitz's level will love these. And these are the absolute best things for sight reading. It is a system which I've developed over many years of easy to difficult, easy to difficult. And let me explain to you how I came about this. I happen to be an expert sight reader. I'm probably better at sight reading than 99% of the pianists out there right now. I take a really strong interest in sight reading and what it takes to be a good sight reader. I've discovered through my many years of teaching that the best music for sight reading is a vertical style music like chorales and hymns, church hymns especially. So first and foremost, if you want to become a better sight reader, you need to get church hymnals. Get a hymnal like this. This is a Methodist hymnal. Here is a congregational hymnal. Here's a Lutheran hymnal. Here is a Baptist hymnal. And here are a couple antique hymnals. I love collecting hymnals, actually. So what you need to do is get 1, 2, 3, 4, even more hymnals, because some of them have pieces that others don't have in them. Just read hymns. Read a hymn, learn another one another day. You need to learn at least 100 church hymns before you can even start to sight read well. The best thing, actually church hymns are the second thing, the second best way to sight read. The first best way to sight read are Bach chorales, Bach 4-part chorales, such as here. I also collect Bach chorale books. I have 4 of them right here, which my publication is based on. So I have a good selection here, which I used for developing my system of sight reading. So what you need to do is this. You need to click on the link below and go and pre-order your copy of my hard copy book, Sight Reading and Harmony. I guarantee it will be the finest book on sight reading ever published in the world. It will be the best publication ever. And you can get it right now, 40% off, and become an expert sight reader. Continue to watch this video through the next 2 segments, and I'll walk you through what it's about. You can also go to the website and read a detailed account of the description of sight reading and harmony. So thank you for your time, and until we meet again, bye. BachScholar Publishing presents Sight Reading and Harmony, Progressive Pieces for Keyboard, grades 1 to 10, selected from 4-part chorales by J.S. Bach, for piano, organ, and theory instruction. 150 excerpts from 4-part chorales and 10 complete chorales by J.S. Bach, systematically arranged and practically organized for the optimal learning of music reading and musical harmony, with an essay and detailed practice rules by Dr. Corey Hall. Here is an example of the inside cover. And here's the first page of the table of contents. All of the examples are arranged in alphabetical order according to their German titles. They also consist of the composer of the melodies, the time signature, and the key. So teachers and students can look up certain chorales if they're interested in playing in certain keys, or if they want 3/4 instead of 4/4, for example. Here's the second page of the table of contents. Here's the third page. And here's the fourth page. And after 150 examples of Bach's chorales, we have 10 four-part chorales in their entirety, arranged from easy to difficult. And then we have 150 chorale excerpts arranged by key and occurrence. So this is a very helpful chart for students and teachers who would like to work in various keys: G minor, G major, F major, A minor, so forth, and the order of occurrences. Also a little chart here with all the chorales in triple meter, because most are in 4/4 time. Also, I will be adding a part here on the next page of cadences used in Bach's chorales. That has not yet been done, but that is in the works right now. And here are 150 chorale excerpts listed by composer of melodies. So all the composer's melodies that are featured here are listed on this page with the page numbers of their occurrence. A lot of composers here that Bach used their melodies and harmonized his chorales from these composers' melodies. Here's the first page, second page, third page. This is the page which I play on the piano in the next segment and explain how this works. So this, I think it's easier to view this than in the piano view that I have from above. It may be too small to see all the notes, but basically what you have here is two voices here, one note per one note. Then in this example here, you have one note for every two notes. Then you have your chord chart here, primary chords, secondary chords, and cadences, usually 2 cadences for each example. Grades 5 and 6, this features 3 notes all at once. So students learn how to play chords, 3-note chords. Grade 7 and 8 example adds 1 more note, so students learn how to play 4 notes at one time. Clear quarter note harmonies with only quarter notes, and some half notes in other examples. And then grades 9 and 10, the most difficult. This is the unedited example of Bach's chorale here. And most consist of 4 measures. They're not complete chorales, but they're about 4 measures of the chorale here. So you have the easiest to the most difficult here. Students can either work from the top of the page down to the bottom if they're more advanced, and they can already play chords. For students who can't play chords and are only learning the very basics, should only focus on this first line and perhaps the second line of each page here. So here's an example of the subsequent pages. I'll just glance through these. I'll just go through these here. 150 pages of beautiful Bach chorales, all with chord charts, with cadences, cadence charts here. And after 150 excerpts, we have 10 chorales in their entirety. And these pages here feature the title and just a small history of the chorale, a little history behind it, and the chorale here. This is approximately grade 5, these 2 examples. They get a little harder as you progress. grade 8, another grade 8, grade 9, and finally one of Bach's finest chorales here, which I've classified around grade 10. Beautiful chorale example here. This is the final page of the book. Sight Reading and Harmony from BachScholar Publishing. Okay, so we have a sample page here from Sight Reading and Harmony. This features a melody by Louis Bourgeois from 1551. It's a very beautiful melody that Bach used for some of his chorales. Basically what Bach did was he took a melody line, which is here, all quarter notes in the key of F major, and then Bach harmonized that down here below with the alto, tenor, and bass voices. But this is the easiest, most readily playable of all the examples here, which I call grades 1 and 2. This first example here is what we would call first species counterpoint. So it's all quarter notes together, also half notes. So quarter notes, half notes, some whole notes as well in other examples. It sounds like this. Once again. So in this grades 1 and 2 example and all the other examples in this book, students learn to read note for note. So when the right hand changes a note, the left hand changes a note, so on and so forth. This is called first species counterpoint. Now moving on to the next most difficult example here, grades 3 and 4. This example takes the melody as we just heard it with a little more elaborate bass line that features eighth notes in it, which is a bass line taken from Bach's original chorale, which is down here on the bottom. So grades 3 and 4 here. Once again. The grades 3 and 4 examples of sight reading and harmony teach students how to match up note for note as they did in the grades 1 and 2 example. However, we're adding another eighth note in there in between. This is what we would call second species counterpoint. Second species counterpoint, which is the means that will prepare us for these three examples here. Because once students have mastered first species counterpoint and second species counterpoint here, then they're ready to go on to read three voices at once. So the grades 5 and 6 example here has one voice in the left hand, two voices in the right hand. So we have soprano, alto, and bass, which sounds like this. Beautiful example here. This teaches students how to read 3 notes at one time forming chords. This is usually ignored in most traditional piano methods today, as is the next example here, grades 7 and 8. The grade 7 and 8 example uses soprano, alto, tenor, bass. What it does is it takes this unedited example here on the bottom and subtracts the 8th notes and any passing tones and only presents the chords all in quarter note values. Quarter note and sometimes half note values in other examples in the book. So here's what this sounds like. 4 voices, complete harmonies. When students are able to make it this far, to read 4 voices at once forming complete chords with just quarter notes, then the final step here in the grades 9 and 10 example is to fill in most of these harmonies with passing tones and 8th notes. Some chorales feature more passing tones than others. Some even don't have very many. But this one is a good example because we have several 8th notes here that fill in the harmonies. So now compare what I just played here to the final example here. Beautiful example here. This is not easy sight reading here, but when students reach this level, they will have acquired the skills for absolutely flawless sight reading. If a student can sight read this and similar examples well, the student is a master sight reader. There are not very many pianists who can sight read, let alone play Bach chorale, 4-part chorale examples such as this here, and it all begins with the grades 1 and 2 example here. So, just to wrap this up, let me show you, I'm going to play the easiest example, grades 1 and 2, and then I'm going to go and play the most difficult example. Now I'll go and play the grades 9 and 10 example. So, accompanying these 3 examples here is a box. You may have seen this box here. This box features all the chords that are used in these examples here. Primary chords, in this case F major, C major, B flat major. All the secondary chords that are used, in this case E diminished, G minor, D minor, C sharp diminished 7, and A major. And in parentheses I give the Roman numerals for those who would like to learn the Roman numerals. And then under this I have cadences here, and usually most examples have 2 cadences. Most consist of 3 chords. This particular example has a 4, a 7, and a 1. 4, a 7, 6, and a 1. This is what music theorists call a leading tone cadence. So I labeled the type of cadence here, leading tone cadence in F major. And then we have our final cadence here. Students can practice these cadences over and over and over again to get used to the sound. This particular cadence is called a Phrygian cadence that Bach was particularly fond of and he used in this chorale. Phrygian cadences consist of a 4-6 chord, a minor 4 chord in first inversion, ending in a 5 chord, and that's listed here. So students and teachers can use this chart to help learn the names of chords, and the names of chords in terms of the letter names, also the Roman numeral names of chords. And this is a really handy chart here that every page has. So you can see the chord chart here, primary chords, secondary chords, cadences here, and they all consist of this same chart here with all the cadences. And all the cadences will be listed here in the table of contents. So I will have a separate page here in the table of contents, and I will list the main cadences used, and I'll list all the cadences with the page numbers of the cadences. So here was an example of sight reading and harmony progressive pieces for keyboard, grades 1 and 10.